Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You have asked a question regarding who are the mahrams, who are the people that a person cannot marry. Now, normally in Islam, there are three reasons for why a person is not allowed to marry another person. The first one is lineage, the second one is when you drink milk from someone who's not your mother, and the third one is marriage. So we're going to start with, for our purposes, we're going to work with a man. So a man, according to lineage, cannot marry many people. For example, his mother, his mother's mother, his mother's mother's mother, and so on. And in each one of these, you also cannot marry their sisters. You can't marry your mother's sister. You can't marry your grandmother's sister. You can't marry your great grandmother's sister. And that goes on forever, right? Um, let's say if a person has a father, then you cannot marry your father's mother. You cannot marry your father's mother's mother or father's father's mother, and all their sisters, right? So it's like, father's mother's sister, father's mother's mother's sister. All of these going sideways, you cannot marry. Even if they are a half sister, you cannot marry, as long as there is a blood relationship there. Now, going down, um, a man cannot marry his daughter. One more time. Um, your daughter's daughter, your daughter's daughter, right? Um, or even like your daughter's son's daughter, and so on and so on. You cannot marry your sister. Your sister could be half sister from your mom's side. Um, so, whether it's half or full, you cannot marry them. You cannot marry your sister's daughter or your sister's granddaughter of any side, right? If a man's got a brother, bring that here. So you can't marry your brother's daughter, your brother's daughter's daughter, or let's say your brother's granddaughter of any kind, and so on and so on. Now these rules are important because not only can you not marry them, you also don't. They also don't have to wear hijab in front of you. They're considered like your blood. Um, I'm sure there's a few more of these that I have left out, but for the most part, this should cover most scenarios. Then we get to a person who has given milk to you. So let's say this man drank milk from a lady, right? So he has a milk mother. Now, all those things that would be impermissible through blood will also be impermissible through milk. He cannot marry this woman's daughters, he cannot marry this woman's mother, so on and so on and so on. Um, and the third reason is marriage. So let's say you have a wife. Um, you cannot marry your wife's mother, wife's grandmother, your wife's, you know, pretty much all these relationships that we've established going up and going down. So you can't marry your wife's, your wife's daughter, your wife's granddaughter, etc., etc. Um, So from your wife going up, your wife going down, you cannot marry any of them. The only exceptions to this are, let's say, your wife's sister. They're not considered your mahram, but you cannot marry them for as long as you are married to your wife. Um, Same thing with your wife's. Hold on, I want to make sure I get this right. Your wife's aunts, right, who are not exactly going up, going down. Yeah, you can marry them while you're married to your wife, but let's say that marriage does not work out, you can marry them later on. But the ones that are on the screen, you can never marry them, and they are considered your mahram. You have to, they can take their hijab off in front of you, etc., etc. Your wife's daughter only becomes your mahram after you have consummated the marriage. Same thing with your wife's granddaughter. Um, you also cannot marry your father's wife, right? And your grandfather's wife, from both sides. Whether this wife is related to you or not, she is considered your mahram. Um, I'm not sure if this is an extensive list, but I hope it kind of paints a picture and gives some insight into the topic. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.